America and issues that are pertaining to citizens every single day. And to be able to have a platform and keep inspiring kids and inspiring people to change their society and change the way things have been is just a blessing. And this incident is only going to make me stronger as a person, just going to make me stronger as a man, and make me stronger as a brother and a family man. So, hey, these things happen, and it's so unjust. People suffer injustice every single day. And just because you think that you have money and you think that you have this success doesn't make you any different from a human being. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We try to figure out our place in the world. Welcome to Head to Head. Today I have one of the most tenacious, creative players. He calls himself the Black Dr. Seuss. He's created his own children's book. He's created his own app. He's caught touchdowns. He's won the Super Bowl. None other than my brother, Pro Bowler, Green Bay Packer, Martellus Bennett. Welcome to Head to Head.
Well, thank you, bro. I think you left a couple of adjectives out to describe me, but you did a great job.
So on to the NFL this week. NFL Now is the next segment we're going to right now. We're talking about week one. There's a lot of great matchups in the NFL. You know, they got the New England versus KC. They got all these great matchups. But the matchup that's on my eye is the Green Bay versus Seattle for obvious reasons. Growing up as teammates, as brothers, always on the same team. Does it ever get easy to play against each other? For me personally, it doesn't get easy for me. Every year when we play against each other, it's the hardest game. It's hard for me to line up against you and be like, what about Jet? And it's like, what about Siggy? And I just cannot line up and be like, and go my hardest. World, I'm saying I go hard, but if it was like Gronkowski, I'll do Gronkowski bad. But I can't do my brother like that, man.
No, I was telling some of the guys who asked me about that, and I was telling them, I was like, bro, we never been brothers that were like competitive, try to outdo each other. We've always been the ones helping each other and pushing each other to become great. But I told them, I was like, yeah, but it's cool now because in Seattle you slide down to the 5 a little bit more inside, and Cliff is on the outside, so we don't have to go against each other as much. And then you always do the thing where sometimes you go to the opposite side that I line up. I remember one time we played against each other, and you went to the opposite side, and I was like, oh, shit, come back over here, Mike. I'm about to come back in flashback. I got to cut the defense in on that side, and I don't want to cut you. I'm like, God damn. And then we go back. We have a good collision. We have a really good collision, good pop. But on film, the coach was like, hey, what are you and your brother doing on this play? And I was like, man, you saw me and I saw you, and you're like, well, we can't just stop, so we got to hit each other right now. So might as well give a good hit.
We can't just stop.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, boom. It's like, it's a car collision, but it's like, it's not like a super bad car collision. It's a good pop, but it's never too crazy.
No, it's not. It was like two Hondas hitting each other like, God, it wasn't like two Bronco trucks, not the one OJ was in, you know, like the 70.
Yeah, that truck hit a lot of stuff on the way out. But it's funny too. The other thing too is like the cool thing is like when they do the scouting report on you, and I'll just be sitting there, and sometimes they say good stuff about you, and sometimes I ain't gonna tell you what we say about you when we do our scouting reports. But sometimes they be talking about you very highly, and everybody look back at me and it's like, why are you cheating so hard? I was like, that's my brother right there. Y'all respect him. He's a good player. It's just really cool to see that how far you come, and then the way people talk about you in the meetings, like, oh, we gotta go get to 72 this week. Get your hard hats on. So that's been always fun to hear the scouting reports in there.
That's funny though, because it's like when you play against your brother, or people always want to know. They always ask me, can you simulate some of his moves? And I'm like, bro, the dude's 6'5" and he runs a 4'3", 4'4", 4'5", 4'6". I mean, I can't do what he can do. I say 4'6", 4'6". 4'6". I gave you. So 4'6". So
I'm about a 4'6", almost a 4'5".
But do they ask you to simulate my moves? Because sometimes they ask me to simulate your moves and try to tell me. I'm like, I can't simulate his moves. I just can't do it. It's genetically impossible.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff that you do, and I do it exactly like you, which is funny because I can mimic all your movements or whatever.
As an offensive player?
I'm talking about no. When like sometimes I go against when I go against the offensive line, like I know your little dip in, double hand swipe moves, like pretty. Because I be doing sometimes I go do pass rusher during training camp, like as extra conditioning with the D line. They be like, damn, where you learn that from? It's like I get all my brother's moves. So I'm trying to get a package in where I get the rush. On him. I'm like, try to let me rush, coach.
You probably would get a sack though.
If I get a sack, y'all wouldn't be able to tell me shit.
You get a sack though. They wouldn't be able to tell you nothing, bro. They wouldn't be able to tell
Nah,
you
if I
nothing.
get
You
a
go
sack, I
crazy
might as well
on.
put my jersey, hang my jersey in the rafters, and retire me in the Ring of Honor if I get a sack.
Hey, quick question though. If you could play any other position, you switch position, which one would it be? I think you'd be a great defensive end. I think you'd be a good outside linebacker.
I think defense end would. I could play Cam Chancellor's spot, but probably defensive end. I just like the idea of like not really have to do anything, but just going to get the ball. Like offense, I'd be having to think a lot. I mean, y'all set people up and stuff like that, but I mean, y'all have one job: get to the guy with the ball. So it's just like
one job, bro. One job.
Yeah, that's it. Like, who cares how you get there? Get there. Don't let them run through your gap. Don't let them come by you.
Get off the ball.
Get off the ball. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that would be really cool to rush the passer. I mean, in high school we both played defense end that one summer, but we kind of destroyed the quarterbacks and had to stop that.
We destroyed the quarterbacks. They so bad that we did them bad. We heard about 3 quarterbacks. Last week they gave Stafford $92 million guaranteed. What were you thinking when they did that? I know what I was thinking. I was thinking like, so if I just win 2 playoff games and I just do okay, I can make $200 million. I'm like, quarterback is the best position because it's like quarterback you really don't like have to win, but you can have like potential to win, and like you get paid like you Aaron Rodgers or something. It's like the okay quarterbacks are getting paid better than the great quarterbacks. It's weird.
The okay quarterbacks are getting paid more than great players at other positions. But the market is like, oh, the market is this for quarterbacks, but the market's not that for linebackers, or it's not the line. Like, it's not like Le'Veon Bell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he should be paid higher. Like, you can't, like, you try to cap his market based on what a running back, you feel like a running back should get, but not who the player actually is and what he can do.
Right.
I don't know, but if you give me $12 million for 1 year, I'm showing up too.
Yeah, I'm showing up.
I'm showing up.
It's crazy though. If you really think about it, though, it's like $92 million. I just go crazy. I'm just like, I would just be like,
$92 million. I'm doing very well. Like, I'm already happy coming to work right now, but you give me $92 million, I'll open up the doors. Stay out there a little bit, sweep the floor, clean up the locker room a little bit. Hey, man, don't worry. I got your jerseys in your pants. Don't worry. Put everything. I'll probably throw a load in the washer.
I'll take the whole team out to eat. Everybody. Come on. Everybody. Janitors, everybody. Everybody's included in this dinner. We won't go to like a nice steakhouse. We'll go to Chili's or something, but I'm taking everybody. Everybody's getting the chocolate cake. Everybody's getting all you can eat chips and guac. And then we can get chicken fried steaks. Bro, I mean, I'd probably spend like $1,000, but it'd be worth it.
If a team pays me like that, I would have cake delivered every Friday to work. Everybody would have their own individual personalized cake. A self cake. Like, you get cake, you get a cake. I'd be like, Oprah, you get a cake, you get a cake, I get a cake. Hey, bro, I know the good places to eat in Green Bay when you come here now. So when you come here, you don't have to eat
there's no
at that
good
one
places
restaurant.
to eat in Green Bay.
No, there are some good spots.
But that's crazy, though. That's like, there's a couple cities that in the NFL that nobody really wants to go to. Buffalo's one of them. Green Bay's another one. Nobody likes to go to Jacksonville. I'm trying to think of some more. Nobody likes to go to Cleveland. Nobody likes to play in Cleveland. I mean, I think Cleveland is up there with Green Bay. Out of all the cities that you used to go to, you've been on visit to?
You can't put Green Bay in that
You like
category.
Green Bay? I know you gotta like Green Bay. You kind of biased.
No, you gotta think. I've been fortunate. I was drafted to Dallas. Then I went to New York, and then I went to Chicago, and then I played in Boston, and now I'm in Green Bay. But the thing about Green Bay, when I got here, everybody's like, a place is what you make it, and then a place is sometimes it's about the people that you with. You know what I'm saying? So like, I've been having a lot of fun in Green Bay. I think it's a great town because it's one of the towns that forces you to hang out with your teammates, and it builds a camaraderie that you usually don't get when you're in a big city. Because like in Chicago, all guys will be into different stuff here, and there. In Green Bay, we have dinner together, we hang out together, like you do a lot of stuff together. So as far as like coming to a town and just being with friends, it's pretty cool because I hang out with a different guy on the team all the time. As
a player, watching Aaron Donald hold out, I'm just like, why isn't the Rams paying Aaron Donald? I'm like, he's the best player on the team. He's been one of the best defensive players in the league. I'm like, get a guy what you want. Who do you have on that team? You're gonna pay somebody. It should be Aaron Donald. He is the Rams.
I mean, I mean, you can't really deny that he earned his money. Like he earned it. Like give the man what he earned. Like pay him to what he. I mean, but then I think for the player, it's like if you hold it out, hold out. It's your right too. You're not under contract. Like people, what happens is they start like sometimes a lot of teams will reach out to the community and start like dropping dimes here and there, saying different things. So it starts to paint that guy in the bed like, oh, you getting this amount of money? Why aren't you at work? So they try to put that peer pressure on him. Like Le'Veon Bell had Antonio Brown calling him out or whatever, things like that. But it's like, Antonio, you already got paid. Let me get paid, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let
like,
me
chill
get
out.
paid.
Like, so
Give Aaron his money. Give Aaron his money.
Yeah, so I think guys that like that get paid, they should hold out. I don't feel like anything's wrong with holding out.
Yeah, I think he should hold out. He's definitely outplayed his contract in every single bill of where he's been a dominant force on the defensive line, been dominant for that defense. And for not to pay him, I mean, when you got a guy in your organization who's done stuff like that, it's a slap to other. You want to encourage other players to play like him in the future so they can do good for their team. You want it to be a homegrown team. You got to play with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. What does it feel like to play with two of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation? I know personally, going against them, you have to game plan for Aaron's ability to scramble. You have to game plan for his ability to get you off sides. You have to game plan for him to have the long pass. I mean, he's a mobile quarterback. And then Tom, you game plan for him just cerebral. I mean, he's just so great. And it's like, what does it feel like? You got to play with Eli, Tony, Jay. Like, you got some good quarterbacks in your repertoire.
I've been fortunate enough in my career to always play with some good quarterbacks. I mean, early in my career, I didn't really get to play much because I was a backup with Tony Romo, but I did learn from watching him play, you know what I'm saying? So, but like over the last 2 years, man, Tom was awesome. Like the thing I noticed about like really good quarterbacks is that they are really good people. Like Tom Brady's just a good dude. Like he's fun to talk to. Like he's just, I mean, he's an older gentleman as well, so that may be a part of it too. But like Aaron's like, he's very, very intelligent. You know, he's well-rounded. He knows about a lot of different things that's going. He's worldly, and like both of them are. And he's just like, we talk about stuff that like we talk about stuff that's on such a high level. But I think he appreciates that too. I think overall, you know, Aaron's a little bit younger, so he's like a little more hip than Tom is. But as far as quarterbacks, I mean, you can't go wrong with any one of them.
True. You can't really go wrong with any one of them. Both of them are Hall of Famers, and all I can say is that I hate going against both of them. They just have that trait of greatness every time you play against them.
I think of Tom Brady like James Bond, and I think of Aaron Rodgers more of like a Bruce Wayne.
But if you name it like actors, but what like music? If you had to pick a music or genre of music or a band, which one would Tom be, and which one would Aaron be?
Oh, Aaron is definitely 90s hip hop. Yeah, he's a 90s hip hop guy. I would have to say, you know, he loves
Red Hot
Nas,
Chili Peppers?
Snoop, all West Coast. No, 90s hip hop. Like,
oh wow,
like
I would have never thought of that.
Yeah,
I thought Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, no, you definitely Nas. You know, Biggie, Tupac. I mean, first time I got in the car with him, like it went from like Red Hot Chili Peppers or some shit, and then like the next 3 songs are like Tupac, and then he's rapping every word. I'm like, all right, I wasn't ready for this, but let's go. And I think of Tom is more, if Tom listened to hip hop, Tom's hip hop is like 50 Cent, you know.
50 Cent?
And Jay-Z. Yeah, like, you know, the early 50 Cent. In the club, you know, 21 Questions, like that type stuff. And Jay-Z, early Jay-Z, like dust the dirt off my shoulders type Jay-Z. But I also think that sometimes when you're not around Tom, that he may just have a classic symphony orchestra walk around behind him playing the soundtrack to his life.
The next segment of this show is called Boy Stop. It's pretty much about fashion, hip hop, the NFL, and I ask you questions and you say, boy, stop. It's like you agree and you just kind of give me like a little 10 seconds
All
into
right,
it.
let's go.
And okay, so
I got you.
The first one, Vontaze Bigfit or Burfitt, or I don't know how to say his name. Vontaze Burfitt style to play.
Vontaze Burfitt.
Do you think his dirty hits?
Boy, stop. I think boy, stop. I think he has to find boy, stop.
Boy, stop.
There's just a fine
People
line
late. Boy, stop.
Yeah,
Boy,
bro,
stop
like,
hitting people
why,
late.
bro? Like,
Why when you get your check, it's like half of what you got? Boy, stop. Why every time you go to work, your check is less than what it's supposed to be? Boy, stop. You miss 3 games every year. Boy, stop. Just get that money to me.
Yeah.
I'll use it. I'll get a new car.
Nah. I like Valtez. I like him as a person. Like he's not a malicious person. That's just the way he plays. It's just kind of like, I don't know. So, I don't know. Ooh, I'm not a judge.
People from California arguing with me that In-N-Out is better than Whataburger. I'd say, boy, stop.
Boy,
you
stop.
go to In-N-Out.
Boy, stop.
You go to
Yeah.
Whataburger is real.
In-N-Out burgers are good. Yeah, but the thing that even, first of all, Whataburger has the best Sprite I've ever had in my life. And then second of all, like, In-N-Out, like, their fries are disgusting. It's like eating, I don't know what it's like eating, like, cardboard box with ketchup. But, like, Whataburger, that honey butter chicken biscuit, them taquitos, man, and those, the chicken tender sandwich on the Texas toast, and that good old Sprite, and the ketchup is good. I don't know. Boy, stop. Whataburger's that dude, man.
Kyrie Irving saying that he couldn't be the guy in Cleveland. Boy, stop.
I mean,
we gave you 3 years before LeBron got there. We didn't even used to watch Cleveland. Nobody used to buy Cleveland jerseys. Nobody used to watch the game. When LeBron James came, they had they flew him there in a helicopter. Like, LeBron James, like, boy, stop. You want to go to Boston for what? You leave LeBron James. He's been to the final 9 years in a row. Boy, stop.
Yeah.
You can't be LeBron. You got to know your place. Like, when you're on the Patriots, you know you can't beat Tom Brady. You like, boy, stop. When I'm on the Seahawks, I know I can't beat Russell. I know I can't beat Sherm. I just let it be. Everybody got to know their role.
But I think that, I mean,
bro, boy, stop.
Robin has fans too. That's all I'm gonna say. I just want to say, like, I mean, I guess Robin has fans too. Some people like Robin, but everybody likes Batman. I mean, I don't know if they looked at it like Batman. I think when he was Robin, he might have felt like he was more like Aquaman, which
no, he was Batman
no one
too.
really pays attention to.
He was Batman 1 and Batman 2, Kyrie and LeBron.
I think it's all perspective. I mean, that's like with me.
If what's
like
name came out, if Kevin Love came out and said that he felt like he needed to be traded, it'd be different. But I feel like Kyrie had the ball in his hand 43% of the time.
But I think, I mean, he wanted to go to a bigger market. I mean, LeBron's from Cleveland, so the market is huge for him. And he's LeBron James. He is the market, so it's a little bit different than when you're Kyrie. But I think Kyrie's a really good player. It'd be interesting to see how the season goes. But, like, anyway, my favorite guard in the NBA anyway that I think is the best that no one ever talks about is John Wall.
Isaiah Thomas.
I don't really care about none of them.
John Wall's good. The next segment is called We Know You Like. Everybody knows you for being super creative, and you do so many crazy things, and you do so many things that's ahead of his time. But really, recently, we released a track with Snoop Doggy Dogg. Where do you find the time to release a song by Snoop Doggy Dogg, run a company, be a father, practice football, be a speaker? How did you make a song, and how did that make you feel to make a song with Snoop Doggy Dogg, D-O-double-G?
Well, it was pretty cool. Snoop Dogg's a great dude. There's a lot of stuff that we have similarities in a lot of areas. But it was really cool because I was going to do something else, and it was like, oh, Snoop is in the studio. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let me go back to the studio, see what he's doing. He was back there, he was rapping, doing his thing, whatever. So I'm like, all right, let me go holler at Snoop real quick. So I'm back there, he in the studio, and he's listening to beats. So I'm like, man, I'll jump on a track with you. And then he was like, and then he just kind of blew me off like I was joking. And then I was like, nah, man, let's make a song. He was like, you for real? I was like, yeah. Then we went through a couple beats, and I was like, man, I like this one right here. Let's do this. So I pulled out the pen and paper, you know, because I wanted to make sure he knew I wrote my own raps, my own rhymes right then and there on the spot.
You didn't want you to think you was Drake. You didn't want to Drake him, huh? You wanted to make sure he knew you wasn't Drake.
I didn't want to do it. I don't want to have nothing pre-written. I don't want to have nothing pre-written or whatever. I just want to kind of enjoy the process with Snoop. So I'm writing my stuff. So he finished his verses before me. And he goes to the studio, and it's like butter. It's just smooth, just da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Who likes the party?
I'm clean. You could say I'm sanitizing. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, man, I gotta rewrite a couple of these bars right now. So then I go in there, and first I'm kind of nervous because Snoop Dogg's in there. Snoop Dogg's in there, and he's like, I'm rapping in front of Snoop Dogg. So. And he had never heard me rap, but then I was trying to I was kind of nervous at first, but then I started feeling it, or the engineer or whatever, then I kind of messed up on the last bar. Then Snoop came in and he was like, dog, you got to say Marty got bars because, bro, you got bars. You can rap. So then I was like, all right, Snoop thinks I can rap. So then, like, we had to go do some TV thing together real quick. But the whole time I'm on the TV segment, I'm like, I'm going to rewrite my first verse and I'm going to do a second verse. So therefore, if Snoop does one verse, then it's more like it's my song and not Snoop's song. So like in my head, I was writing a new verse, and I went back in the booth and played both verses. And when I came out, like Paul Pierce was in there, like a bunch of people were in there. Came out, that's like, oh, that was you that was rapping. So I was like, if they actually that was you that was rapping, and they don't say you suck, then you know you was in there really rapping. So yeah.
Quick right here. All right, you 8-second rap about getting the ball. Go ahead. Freestyle 8 seconds on getting the ball this week. Freestyle by getting the ball.
Okay. Give me the ball because you know I'm getting wrecked. I catch it so fast so Michael can't get a sack. Everybody chasing all they see is my back. I'm running across the realm. I'm running all these laps. Touchdown, Marty B. Tell me where that party be. I'll be rolling through the crowd kind of like a Harley D. I'm big and strong because of broccoli. And I'm a dunk on the goalpost like broccoli.
Y'all got some. My name is Mike Bennett. I got to make a sack. Any quarterback know that I leave him on his back. If his number 12s or his name like rack, I'm going to hit the quarterback stacking up my racks. So many sacks laying on my back. When I'm in the ocean, I hit the lanes on the sack. Come on, man. Hey, come on, man. Now we started rapping and stuff, and I know everybody knows that you for creativity. And this next year, what is the Imagine Agency releasing? I know you got so many stuff that you're doing with the book, Hey AJ, everything that the fans should know that's watching the show about things they should be looking up as for your everything you're doing this year. I know your past apps, your new apps, new books, everything that you're doing, the movies, everything is something very new for athletes to be doing. Should the fans be looking for something this year?
So the difference between me and most guys is that I actually create the content. Like, I don't sign off on things. I'm actually the creator behind everything that I'm making. So, like, right now I'm getting ready to release my second Hey AJ's Bedtime app, which is stellar, by the way. And it's super, super awesome. And my second book, Hey AJ's Bedtime. And I got the new Hey AJ's Bedtime book that's coming out. I also got that book. I did a book, Dear Black Boy, that's getting ready to come out as well. And I got a big project with that. And I'm finishing up my newest animated cartoon, Hey AJ, The Fantastical Adventures of AJ, which I'm finishing up. And I'm getting ready to, I'm also working on a couple coloring books. And I got my own candy bars coming out in October, which I'm super excited about. You know, I love Willy Wonka, and this is my first time having my own chocolate come out. And it's actually fine chocolate, like really like pure chocolate. So it's like, really, I'm super excited about that. My own candy bars coming out, and I'm gonna shoot some funny videos for that. I'm doing something with Play-Doh like next week. That's coming out next week, and I don't know. I'll make it as much stuff as possible.
That's the greatest thing too. Before we go to one of the last segments, a lot of people don't know Hey AJ. They just think AJ's like this made up person, but they don't realize that AJ is your daughter, and they're like. That this whole story is about your daughter. Everything about the app is about her. And it's like for you to take a character which is never really seen, a young black girl, have her own show, have her own app, have her own books, and to be the main character in something is super crazy. It's like that's really cool for it to be your daughter, that you really put her in a level where she can always be remembered and she can always be seen in the future.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was like when you have kids and you go to the library or the bookstore, and there's not many characters that look like your kids that they can relate to. There's nothing wrong with all the other books, but there needs to be more books about, like, kids of color just going on great adventures. Like, there's, like, 3 black wizards in Harry Potter. Like, you know, there's, like, you know, like, they're always the sidekick. You know, it's never like they're the main character or the main person. Like, in Hey Arnold, there's Gerald, and Doug, there's Skeeter, or, you know, whatever it may be, but they're not really main characters. So, like, when I started thinking about characters that look like my daughter, I was like, what's better than a character that's based on her, named after her, that looks just like her, and then it just tells the stories and adventures that we have together. But now I just got my first comic book, Towel Boy, because a lot of boys were asking me to write stuff, like parents were asking me stuff about boys, so I started the comic book Towel Boy, which is, I'm only selling it for $5, so I'm not really making a profit, you know what I'm saying, like as far as like being a publisher and a distributor myself. So it's like more about getting the likeness of these characters out there more so than also making a dollar. I know I got to keep my company afloat, but at the same time, you know, it's more about like trying to bring up the percentage of characters there are out there, so it's easier to find, because only three out of every 100 books is a color. So 100 books here, to find one of the ones that look like you, you shouldn't have to find 3 books in 100 to look like you. It should be way more than that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too, and I know Peyton and Blake and all the kids do. Recently, you know, Aaron Rodgers came out and said that he feels that Kaepernick should be on the team. I know that Cam Newton said it too. And those are two of the most influential quarterbacks in NFL. Cam Newton being, you know, 2 years removed from being the MVP of the whole NFL offensively and and just the NFL pick in general. Aaron Rodgers is arguably a Hall of Famer and the first ballot Hall of Famer. How do you feel about them coming out saying that Kaepernick should be on the team, and do you feel the same way?
I think it's very strong. I mean, it's easy when it's someone like you or me saying it, but once everyone starts joining the conversation, then it makes you look at it differently. Because, you know, I think Kaepernick he's better than a lot of guys out there.
I tell you first.
I mean, I know, but I don't want to get in that list because that list is long. So I think it is. I think it was a message, but at the same time, that message isn't really being heard. That message isn't going the way that it was planned to go about. So it's like a lot of guys are stepping up. A lot of guys are joining the conversation. A lot of guys are involved. And now it's like guys from all different colors that are saying things. So that makes it even more powerful impact.
Talking about what's going on in your home city, Houston, Texas, our home city. And, you know, everything's devastating. And I know that you are coming together for your drive and what you're creating through creativity and art. Would you like to tell us about what you're doing with your foundation and what you're doing for the proceeds you're raising for your charity?
Oh, yeah. So, as you know, I'm a big believer that art can heal, and art is more powerful than people like to give it credit for. So right now what I'm doing is I am working to get a bunch of my friends who are artists and some of the top creators in the world to give original pieces, and I'm building an online art gallery where people will be able to buy pieces of art from a lot of artists all over the world in one place, and all those funds would go to raising money to get kids art and school supplies as well as uniforms back in the city of Houston. I'm starting in the Southwest, Fort Bend, Alief, and Sugar Land where we grew up, and then I'm gonna branch off and continue to do more.
I'm really glad to see you taking a stand and giving back to your city in a new creative way by giving kids the opportunity to have art and do all those things. And big ups to you for always pushing that creativity and not just dribbling the ball, but creating the ball. That's really courageous of you.
You know how highly I feel about creativity and how kids should be more creative, because the more creative they are, the better our future, because kids are the landscapers of our futures, and if they're landscaping and they're architects if they're the architects of our tomorrows, I just want to make sure that the buildings that they're building are some of the best ones in the world, and that they have the tools to be able to think outside of the box, because we are dependent on them to do so. Like I mean, and selfishly, I want to drive a flying car, so I want to help as many kids become creative as possible, so I can get me a flying car.
And then last, the pick three. This pick three is about the NFL, the games that are happening this week. A lot of people don't know that you know a lot about football. You're a football historian. You watch the game. You love the game. And usually we talk about, because you always talk about the game, and you talk about it like if you were a commentator. You talk about the defense, you talk about the offense, and you talk about the keys to the game. I think a lot of people don't really understand how good you are on TV. And a lot of people are going to be surprised when you retire and Fox or ESPN or somebody offers you a job and you're on TV. They're going to be like, wait, Martellus never said it? He never said it? Now he's working the primetime game. So it's going to be crazy when people see that and how analytical you are about the game. Now, speaking of the game, this week you got the
I
Giants
just
and
think
this week you got the Giants and the Cowboys. What are the three keys to the Cowboys having success, and what are some of the keys to the Giants having success?
it'll be interesting to see if the Cowboys will be able to run the ball and see how Zeke is doing, if he's focused on that, with everything that's been going on with him. So it'll be interesting to see if they can run the ball well against the Giants defense, which I think is a defense that a lot of people are not hearing about, but I think it's a really good defense. I think that'll be huge. Will Odell be ready? There'll be another question because Odell and Brandon Marshall on both sides.
That's
It's totally
true.
different from just having Brandon Marshall. So and Brandon Marshall's a great receiver, but they both on the field at the same time are they're back end of then a young tight end they got, and then the other guy Rhett is going to be okay too. So how are they going to match up with the new weapons that Eli has? And then the other thing is, can the Giants run the ball?
Yeah, that's true.
Will they be able to run the ball? And so I think it'll be good. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's one of those games, but that game is always tough because it's a divisional game and records and nothing really matters.
And then you think about this too, like you think about the Cowboys secondary has been one of the issues they've been bringing up for years. And on top of that, before they couldn't stop Odell, then you add Brandon Marshall to this. But the thing for the Giants, like you said, is can they run the ball? Because last year they was at the bottom of the league in rushing offense. And if you can't run the ball in your passing game, people aren't going to respect it because they're going to just sit back. So I think can the Cowboys defensive line get to Eli? But also, the Giants have a really high paid defensive line. They got the number one this year. Jason Pierre-Paul's making 20. You got Vernon making 15. You got Big Snacks making 12. And then you got the Cowboys offensive line. And for the Giants to be that team that they said it could be, they have to be able to get to Dak. And if they can't get to Dak for all the money they put into the defensive line, then the Giants are going to be a failure this year.
I think that's the matchup. I think that's the biggest matchup of the game. The New York Giants defensive line versus the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, the trenches. That game is going to be one in the trenches. Who's going to push back and who's going to push forward? So I think that's going to be very interesting to see because, man, my boy Tyron Smith he's a man.
He's a man.
I remember the first time he came to Dallas, I was still on the team. He put his hands on me one time. I was like, if you ever put your hands on me like that again, we're going to fight.
But speaking of fighting, you guys are primed for a big year. Just tell me like three quick answers why you guys are primed for a big year. I know you're on the team, and that changes the whole run game for them. That's a lot more success for them.
I think this year, I think for this team is what is the identity going to be this year? You know, last year you won all those they won all the games. You came this far. You played. You know, you got to the NFC Championship. You kind of ran out of gas. Is that a hangover? Like what is this team going to be like? You know, this year. What is the identity of? We don't know yet because we haven't played any games. We got a good feeling of what we're going to be, but we don't really know until we face adversity and we get into these games this year. Defenses. I mean, we added a lot of additions to the defense. I like all the guys on the defense are doing. Like they've been very competitive and doing very well. But I think also just something about like when you got a quarterback like Aaron, you always have a chance.
No, I think it's the same thing. I feel the same way. I think we got a quarterback just like Aaron Rodgers who's mobile and has given us the opportunity. I think because he's healthy, I think we're primed for a big year myself. I think with the addition of Sheldon Richardson, he's already been a Pro Bowler for a young player, and he's already got a really good skill level. And I think with the defense, we've been missing an inside rushing guy for a couple of years, and when we won the Super Bowl, we had a great inside push. And I think adding that to it, Eddie Lacy's a good change of back, and we're running the ball again. So I think we're primed for a big year. I look forward to playing you guys this week, and I'm excited to have you as the first guest on the show as usual, to have your brother in this, to what you do on the field, on and off the field makes you so successful. And that's why you are the perfect guest to be on Head to Head the first time. Not only are you a good man, you're a good community leader, a good father, but you're a good brother. And I appreciate that. So thank you for being on Head to Head today. I just thank you very much.
I appreciate you for having me, man. I'm very proud of you. I'm surprised someone gave you a show. I never thought that would happen, but this is the beginning, maybe. But they also gave 50 Cent a shoe deal with Reebok, so like who knows what the world is coming to these days. So yeah, but super excited for you. I would look forward to watching the show and tuning in every single week and see what you guys are talking about. And until then, boy, stop.